What's good, my people? Welcome back to EMGM Sports. I'm your boy Enzo. How is everyone doing, man? Listen, first of all, before I get started, big up to everyone who's been supporting the channel, showing mad love. I really appreciate it, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm really feeling the love these last few couple of days. You know what I mean? People have been liking the videos, commenting, people have been subscribing. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So listen, if you love your boxing, you love your MMA, combat sport in general, don't forget to like the video, comment and subscribe to the channel if you're new, because that's the only way you're gonna help their channel to grow. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into this, man. So Carl Froch, Joe Calzaghe, these are the two British boxing legends. Do you know what I mean? Two Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? Two fighters that I highly respect. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, they never got to fight each other. You know, they never got to fight each other for one reason or the other, whether boxing politics, whether the one was ducking the other, whatever reasons behind it, I don't know. I wasn't privy to that. You wasn't privy to that, but the fight never happened. You know, it would have been a really great British domestic dust up if these two guys fought. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like their styles would have just complemented each other. You know what I mean? Carl Froch, great heart, granite chin. Do you know what I mean? Comes forward, wants to fight, bang. Joe Calzaghe, on the other hand, fast hands. Do you know what I mean? Fast hands, very fast hands, and great technical boxer as well. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't give Joe Calzaghe that credit. He was a great technical boxer. And I'll be real with you, yeah? I'm going to be real and real honest as well, yeah? I didn't really clock on to Joe Calzaghe until later on in his career. Do you know what I mean? The early years, and I was probably too young anyway, but I didn't really clock on big time onto Joe Calzaghe until he fought the American middleweight, what's his name? Jeff Lacey. Like when he fought Jeff Lacey, like the whole hype behind the fight, like the build up and everything like that. Like Jeff Lacey was calling Joe Calzaghe a slapper. He was saying like Joe Calzaghe doesn't hit hard. Do you know what I mean? He's got no power in his hands. He just slaps and hugs and whatever, yeah? Mate, they dealt the fight that night. Jeff Lacey got absolutely battered. He got beat from pillar to post. Battered, absolutely demolished, yeah? He was TKO, he won by TKO. Let me check here. Jeff Lacey. No, actually, you know what? Jeff Lacey, credit to Jeff Lacey. It was a unanimous decision win by Joe Calzaghe. But listen, it was a beatdown, man. It was an absolute beatdown. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. I remember watching that fight. I was thinking like, yo, surely the ref's going to stop this, because Joe Calzaghe was battering Jeff Lacey. And Jeff Lacey was one of them fighters where from America, yeah, everyone was bigging this kid up. Like, he was the next best thing. Do you know what I mean? In that middleweight division, like, he was coming for all that smoke, all the belts, and everyone was hyping him up. And Joe Calzaghe just dealt with him in different fashion. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, instead of Carl Froch, yeah, calling out, what's his name, Jake Paul, and he wants to have all these exhibition fights. Why is he not calling out Joe Calzaghe? Because if you really look at it, Joe Calzaghe, like right now, is what, 52 years old? How old is Carl Froch? 48. So like 4 years age difference. That's not that much. Do you know what I mean? And when I say Carl Froch versus Joe Calzaghe, I'm not talking some exhibition thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking them thing where it's a boxing fight and there's the rules are where you can't knock each other down, no knockdowns. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're just coming to play. Nah, man, I'm talking the real deal, the real thing, real boxing rules. Like 10-ounce gloves. Let these man go out there, slug it out, swing it out. Let's see, like, obviously it's a bit too late. Do you know what I mean? In terms of both guys are older, they're not in their prime or anything. They haven't been active for more than a decade, yeah? But that's a fight I still believe, like the public, the British public, the boxing, they'll pay for that fight, man. I'll pay for the pay-per-view. I want to see that fight. Do you know what I mean? And I definitely believe these two guys, if the fight was to be announced tomorrow, this man will sell out Wembley, bruv. I'm being real. Joe Calzaghe, Carl Froch, this man will sell out Wembley. Easy. Easy. So I don't really understand why Carl Froch can be calling out what's his name? Joe Calzaghe. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, look, Carl Froch, he was on to Joe Calzaghe at the time, back in the day. Like, he was calling out Joe Calzaghe. He wanted that fight. But I feel like it's one of them things where Joe Calzaghe was looking at him like, yo, you're a little man to me. You know what I mean? I'm the bigger name. I'm the big dude. I'm the guy. I'm kind of just gonna ignore you. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not really gonna pay like, do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna give you the time of day. Do you know what I mean? Like, but Carl Froch wanted that fight because Joe Calzaghe was the big guy. He was the bigger name. And Carl Froch wanted to get in a ring with him for his own reputation, to enhance his reputation. And also Carl Froch wanted to like he believed in himself, yeah. He backed himself and he believed that he could beat Joe Calzaghe. Even though right now, yeah, when I actually look back, because I watch a lot of boxing now, yeah, I look back in past fights and I watch a lot of tapes, yeah. Looking at them too, I just feel like Joe Calzaghe would have beat Carl Froch, if they actually fought. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like even though I admire and respect Carl Froch for his heart, great chin, and he comes forward, he's got that can do, never give up attitude. I do admire Carl Froch for that. I just feel like Joe Calzaghe, yeah, the volume of punches that he threw, his fast hands, and because he was just technically better, I feel he would eventually go to Carl Froch, even stopped him, Do you know what I mean? That's just the way I look, especially now, yeah, in hindsight, looking back, watching those tapes. I think Joe Calzaghe would have beat Carl Froch. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy fight, but I just feel like Joe Calzaghe would have had eventually too much in that fight for Carl Froch. You know what I mean? That's just my honest opinion. I'll be real. Like me being a student of the game and watching the fights back, I feel like my conclusion is Joe Calzaghe would have won it. But anyway, we'll never know because the fight never happened. But it's not too late, is it? At 52 years old, Joe Calzaghe I reckon he can still come back. He probably keeps fit. Carl Froch definitely keeps fit. We see him in. He's always banging on about in his YouTube channel. But Joe Calzaghe, man, people ain't giving this guy his respect. I mean, my guy, Joe Calzaghe had what? 46 fights, retired undefeated. A lot of people don't know this, especially the casuals. Obviously, the purists don't know this because they're onto the boxing. Joe Calzaghe, undefeated fighter, 46 fights, 46 wins, yeah? And also, man, my guy had 36 knockouts, yeah? For people that say he had pillow hands and he was a slapper, whatever you want to call it, 36 knockouts. Come on, that's a great record. That is not bad, is it, for someone with pillow hands? You know what I mean? Now, one of the biggest criticism thrown at Joe Calzaghe, and I understand it. I completely understand it, and I see the logic behind it, yeah, is that he fought a lot of the big names that he fought them after their prime, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like when he fought Roy Jones Jr., when he fought Bernard Hopkins, a lot of people was saying that he fought them when them man was in their prime already, especially with Roy Jones. You know what I mean? Roy Jones, by the time these two guys fought, it wasn't the Roy Jones that we knew of 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? The guy that was knocking everyone out, the guy that was elusive, the fast hands and everything like that, quick reactions. That wasn't the Roy Jones Jr. that we knew, the real deal. You know what I mean? So I can understand it. But listen, hey, Joe Calzaghe can only beat who's in front of him. Do you know what I mean? He can only beat who's in front of him. And he fought those guys and he beat them, man. And I will say that the Bernard Hopkins fight, when Joe Calzaghe fought Bernard Hopkins, that was a closer fight. I actually, in my honest opinion, me being real here, keeping it 100, I feel like Bernard Hopkins won that fight by like a round or two because Bernard Hopkins also got the knockdown in that fight. But being real, respect to what's my guy's name, Joe Calzaghe. He did come back and rallied himself and actually took a couple of rounds there, and he ended up winning that by a split decision. But that was the fight that it could have gone either way. My honest opinion, I think Bernard Hopkins, B-Hop, he just took that fight. Do you know what I mean? By a round. But Joe Calzaghe got the benefit of the doubt from the judges, and he won it. Do you know what I mean? Like the night was for him. And Joe Calzaghe, like I said, a lot of people will not give him credit because he fought a lot of the big names when they were past the prime. Now, I think Bernard Hopkins, after that fight, would you really say he was out of his prime already? Because I think he went on to become like light heavyweight champion, all that. So was Bernard Hopkins really out of his prime? I don't think so with Bernard Hopkins, but with Roy Jones Jr., definitely. And definitely, because that was back in 2008. Roy Jones Jr. by that time, like he was on the decline, innit? And that was actually Joe Calzaghe's last fight. November 2008, that was Joe Calzaghe's last fight against Roy Jones Jr. He called it quit, hanged his gloves, and yeah, man, he's chilled, But I feel like Bernard, what's his name, Joe Calzaghe doesn't really get. He gets the respect. One thing he gets the respect, but I'm talking about overall global recognition for his achievement in boxing. I don't think he really gets that for someone who finished, especially finished undefeated. Do you know what I mean? Like if you look at like the global recognition and the respect and the admiration that someone like a Floyd Mayweather gets, Joe Calzaghe doesn't get that. Maybe in the UK, he gets that because a lot of the boxing fans in the UK appreciate him and they really admire what he achieved in boxing because a lot of the Joe Calzaghe fights were in Britain. Do you know what I mean? They took place in the UK. So a lot of the fans go to see him around the UK and they appreciate what he's done. But I'm talking globally, like America, you know, like the purists know him, but the casuals, like a lot of people don't really know him. I just feel like he doesn't get that respect that he deserves. And I really believe that the fight between him and Carl Froch will be a good fight, even right now when they're out of their prime, whatever the pensioners, that's what I'll call them. But that'll be a good fight, especially with the likes of Turkey Allah Sheikh now, you know, that's in the on the scene right now. Turkey Al Sheikh is talking about bringing back Klitschko to fight Tyson Fury. Why can't Turkey Al Sheikh make Joe Calzaghe versus Carl Froch happen? I believe that he can. I believe that he should. I feel like Carl Froch should be pushing for that fight more. And Joe Calzaghe, one thing I will say about Joe Calzaghe, we don't really hear too much about him, innit? He doesn't really do a lot of media outings. He hasn't got a YouTube channel, has he? Where he's got like a podcast or anything. He hasn't got any of that. I don't even remember the last interview that he's done. He's just one of them guys who's just chilled, innit? Do you know what I mean? Just chilled, you know, retired, doesn't make too much noise. He's in the background doing whatever he's doing, you know, whatever he loves doing in his private life and he's cracking on. He doesn't really make too much noise in the media or make, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see him. But Carl Froch is out there making a lot of noise on his YouTube channel and all that. Do you know what I mean? He's making a lot of noise, calling people out like Jake Paul, you know, going after reporters and presenters, you know, boxing analysts, going after them. But he's got no smoke for Joe Calzaghe. What's that about? That's a fight that I want to see. Let's make that happen, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's make that happen. And I'm not talking exhibition. I'm talking rules. Let's swing it for real. 10-ounce gloves, real boxing rules. Let's get it done, man. Let's get it cracking. Like, these two will be a great fight. Joe Calzaghe is 52. What's my man's name? Carl Froch is 48 years old. Not a massive age gap. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've both been retired over a decade. I think that'll be a good swing. What do you think? Do you know what I mean? Let me know, man. What do you think? What do you think? One note here as well. I'm just looking at my computer here. Joe Calzaghe actually fought Chris Eubank as well. I never knew that. He fought Chris Eubank back in October 1997. Obviously, I'm seeing here that. I mean, Eubank, that was he still in his pump? 1997. I mean, I was a kid then. He probably was. He's probably one of them ones where Chris Eubank was not in his pomp, probably coming towards the end, innit? And yeah, Joe Calzaghe won by unanimous decision, so he won that. Mate, Joe Calzaghe's got some good names on his resume. You know, Sakio Bika, I remember Sakio Bika. Mikkel Kessler. Nah, that's a tough opponent, Mikkel Kessler. Do you know what I mean? That was a tough fight. That must have been a tough fight as well. I think I remember that fight. So yeah, man, Jeff Late, Joe Calzaghe's got some great fights on his resume. He's got a solid resume, but he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Carl Froch also has some great opponents on his resume as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, respect to Carl Froch as well. But let me know in the comments, man, what do you think, man? Do you want to see that fight? I don't mind seeing it. And if these two were to fight in the past, I'm talking back in the day now, yeah, if they were to fight, who do you think would have won? Who you got? Joe Calzaghe or Carl Froch? Who would have won? And if they fight now, who would you see winning as well? I've got my money on Joe Calzaghe winning it. But anyways, I don't think this fight is ever gonna happen. But I feel like Turkey Al Sheikh should definitely push for this fight and make it happen. He's got the money. They can definitely bring Joe Calzaghe out of retirement. Carl Froch, if they offer them the right amount of money, they'll do it. I know Carl Froch will be on it because he always wanted to get them licks in it. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like Carl Froch feels like he doesn't really get that recognition, that massive respect that he wants, yeah, that admiration that he wants, because a lot of people put Joe Calzaghe above Carl Froch. People love Joe Calzaghe, and I feel that still niggles away at Carl Froch. You know what I mean? I still feel like he still doesn't like that whenever Joe Calzaghe's name is mentioned. I kind of see like, you know, Carl Froch is a bit uncomfortable. He's not happy. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, you know, I hope this fight does happen. But let me know in the comments, man, what you think. You know, let me know if you think this is a fight that you want to see. Let me know. Drop a comment. I'll really appreciate. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That is the only way you're going to help us to grow. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back with another one real soon. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.